right there, and here is Mesa City. Gonna be going over there, but if you go to the right again, you can see Murray is dancing. Oh yeah, no, I know that. She's the one thing that constantly keeps changing. About that. And it's like me re-listening to this one, to Sly 1's Carmelita. And boom, here it is, the backstory. It's like one of the ones I appreciate the most, aside from Clockwork, was Mugshots. Because you can see, you know, he became the big muscle, and to this day is still very, very powerful and very strong. And here you see these kids obviously bullying him. Obviously they're teenagers picking on a wimpy kid who was, you know, effectively a very looking kid. And then you see him go against and see the Dogfather, play the Godfather. Sees gangsters. Don't know what kind of era that was where they allowed a kid to come into that movie, because nowadays it's like, where's your adult? But here you see him. Look in the background. You can see that he still, to this day, as he even gets into his more older age, has those relics from his past, and which he held on to that. It's like, these people beat me up because I'm weak, I'm scrawny, and gets the inspiration to become a bad guy. Boom, what's he do? Beats the shit out of everybody. Just one-shotting them, because, you know, when you see Mugshot, like, you see how big and powerful he is, there's no one that can stand to this day up to him. It takes a lot of people to actually do something to him. I'm pretty sure the only person who could physically beat him is the monster that we see Dr. M create in, you know, in Sly Cooper 3, but that was a physical monster he had to create. But anybody else, I'm pretty sure, wouldn't be able to hold a candle to him. Maybe Sly Cooper's dad's, you know, his muscle, his friend, or maybe even the strongest Cooper in the Sly family, the Scottish one. Maybe those two could be able to hold up a candle against him in actual physical fights, because, you know, they're big. But like Murray, who is supposed to be like our toughest guy in Sly 3, when you're just punching him, he's like, that tickles me. It's like, how tough and tanky are you as a guy to physically not only hold open doors to a garage, to an airplane hangar, but also take punches from a guy and just laugh it off? Like, that's not doing anything to me.
And miss all the fun? Besides, I want to try out that new move I
maybe
got from Raleigh's
considering, you
section
know,
of
they have
Thievius,
fire.
Racconus.
Panicky definitely has, like, he's got the moves, he's got the kung fu moves.
Do me a
But in
favor and
terms
read me
of
the
raw
instructions
physical
again.
strength, there's no one that could possibly match him. And we even don't get to see a lot from Ms. Ruby. Ruby's absolutely a beast, but compared to Mugshot, no.
So,
He
jump
like
and hit
just
the circle button to
basically
land on
gives
narrow
him the
spots.
L on that. It's like, when you see that, and like as a kid when you're playing that, it's like, you know, you come to see Murray as being the strong person, and then when you go up against him and he just says that tickles, it's like, oh, I really can't do anything to you. And it's like, you can't. That's why you gotta use this machine, and you gotta hit him with actual physical metal hardware to make him let go of these doors, to force him to get out of your hangar, because you can't do anything to him. Granted, in Sly 2, if you did it right, you could absolutely beat up the bear, you know, and you're taught throughout this whole, you know, campaign of that one is, you do not mess with that bear. That bear is dangerous. That bear is going to absolutely destroy you, which he does, you know. And it takes a lot of work around, a lot of, you know, health gathering to be able to actually, like, beat that bear, to actually officially defeat that bear, especially since you have to use the fire hands, and then, you know, you gotta use the shout to get distance, the charge, which I really didn't use a lot of. I mainly just used the fire hands because, you know, you get to have that additional damage, and you basically gotta go lay into that bear to be able to actually defeat him. But like, having Ms. Ruby, she's just a more mystical person. Like, even during her boss fight, it's just a button pressing. Like, you know, she doesn't have that whole I'm like super powerful, because, you know, she's an alligator, you know, and she's like considerably bigger than you. All these guys are way bigger than you. Mugshot, I think, might be the smallest out of these, you know, next bosses. Of course, Raleigh being a frog is, you know, going to be the teeny tiny one out of all of them. And maybe Ms. Ruby and Panicking are like maybe around the exact same size. I don't know who would officially be bigger, but like they made them a lot smaller when you actually get to play them in Band of Thieves. So like, you know, he wasn't as big as he was in Sly 1 as opposed to in Sly 3. Go ahead and confirm this. There are some times where the mechanics of this game don't work well. It's funny how the charm of these games and the characters that they have in here is Oh no, I still I'm playing this on the PlayStation now. So I'm not playing. I'm playing this like, you know, full on, just like streaming it off the service they have, which is good. I had to buy a brand new controller because my old one was constantly desyncing. So I was like, might as well invest, like, you know, the $15 or whatever. Now I have, you know, an off-brand controller to actually be able to play this game and not die. And, you know, it's been like amazing actually having an actual brand new controller. To be able to like fully play this game, not in the middle of it, have your character desync and then you lose all your charms, and then, you know, it's trying to reconnect, and as your character is like constantly running into fire or running into water and it's just dying constantly. Oh no, it's fine. You don't have to worry about that. Well, yeah. Well, yeah, these were like the very popular games for that era. You know, you have Crash Bandicoot coming out, which was, you know, maybe at that point was their flagship game for that. I'm pretty sure they took inspiration from that because, you know, Bandicoot, you know, became like this super iconic person. And then, you know, you have Sly Cooper, who was basically a raccoon, who had multiple changes throughout the career of him. Becoming like a, you know, what a traditional raccoon would look like, you know, a big, you know, very short, very fat, you know, animal, to being like, you know, the full-on person we see him as now, as these, you know, very slim, very thin, flexible, you know, super agile, you know, person. Like, you have that. Like, there was a clear transition between the two. And, you know, you get to see that in the artwork, you get to see in all that stuff, you know, like where he looked less like, you know, X and became more like Y, which is, you know, great because they went with the obvious cartoon aspect of this. Crash Bandicoot, very cartoony. You know, it's you know, it was very fun to play those games. My favorite levels have to be, you know, it always gave people a lot of stress, but was the roller ones. You know, those ones where you had to run towards the camera while the boulder was chasing after you. Those were hilariously fun because they gave you that tension of, if you mess up, you're going to get squished. You know, you have to succeed on this. Now, where are the other two? Oh. I'm missing some. How am I missing some? Where are they? They're not over here, are they? I'm missing two, right? Yeah, I'm missing one. Where can that be at? It's got to be, like, somewhere back up in the front. If not, it's going to be back over there. It's somewhere. We'll find it. Miss it somewhere. But like, you know, I love those levels. When you had that panda chasing after, or the polar bear chasing after you, when you had the rock chasing after you, it's like those are like the nice, fun, stressful games that we had where we're literally on the edge of our seats. It's like, if we mess up, we're going to die, and it's gonna be, you know, hilarious. I think they had one where you had to jump over some pillars, and you'd have to go back through the level a little bit to be able to actually like where is this? It might be at the very beginning of the level. Let's go ahead and go back to that, because we obviously got to get that one. And you had to jump down a hole in order to be able to get like the secret parts for that level, and it's like you wouldn't know that unless you you know, you tested it out. And as a kid, you know, you're taught like, don't fall in this hole because you're going to die. But yeah, in that level specifically, it's like, no, you want to get you want to 100% this, you want to get the gem and everything. Guess what? You're gonna have to actually drop down into this hole that was made for you, and there is where you're gonna be able to find it. Here it is. How did I miss that one? And it's like, you had to take it on faith. Realistically. Like, those are my favorite ones. Everybody likes the other ones, a whole bunch of other different types, but like those specific levels where the boulder was chasing after you, or the panda was chasing after you, or the polar bear was chasing after you, it was awesome. It was very fun. And then after that had to be the one where we got to ride the actual like polar bear baby itself, which was very fun, very hilarious to be able to see that. And it's like, you know, I love that, you know, because it was like, but those are like also very stressful games because, you know, he was very fast, and you can make yourself go even faster if you actually just held the button up. You can just bulldoze that whole level, but it also comes with the risk of, you know, if you're not fast enough, you're gonna end up hitting some of these random people, or you're gonna hit some stuff, or you know, run over a pillar here or there and basically kill yourself. But like, what can you do? So I'm gonna slide through here. Got that next one. Now we 100% this part right here, now we can actually leave. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot was like one of my favorite games. Sly Cooper, Spyro came after that, and then after that, you know, Sly Cooper was this. And no one really shown a lot of love for that. And it's because the IP is like no one wants to touch that. No one wants to actually like re-get these games and like remaster them. Sly 4, you know, someone tried to remaster that. They remastered this version of it, but they didn't do it to the level of Crash Bandicoot. And now we see what an actual remake should look like when it comes to these old school games, these PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games. Is that a full redone, a full edit of the whole thing, you know, from like start to finish, update the graphics, not just HD them to some degree and then putting them on a multi-disc or you know, collection, you know, because, you know, as you can tell, things, you know, expand on hardware. Movies back then were, you know, like you had like 3 VHSs for like a trilogy of movies and whatnot, and then they fit on one disc. And then you could like choose which one you want to see and watch them in high quality and remaster stuff, but it only goes so far. You know, you can't just fully remake the movie and improve it to such a degree where it's like modern times, and looks amazing. It's like, no, there will always be a loss to that. Same with these games. You know, if you see how it looks now between Sly 1 and Sly 4, you know, the graphic difference is like huge because you have a PlayStation 2 era game, one of the early titles of that game, and then you have, you know, Sly 4 being made, you know, with hardware from like more later on in that era. And it's like, well, there's a clear graphical difference on that. And now to see, it's like, well, how would you want the style done? Do you want it done exactly like this? You know, just like more beefed up, or do you want to see it redone like how they did Crash Bandicoot, where they made him look a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot nicer? And it's like, I would love to see that. I would love to see, you know, like this kind of cell shade, you know, this kind of style, but like maybe done in Spyro or in Sly 4. Because when you look at that and you're like, well, that looks amazing. It's like, well, then see that here. See that? It's like, imagine all these enemies more modernized, more better looking. It's like, well, you know, that'd be cool, you know. And if you guys haven't heard, there's a guy who's absolutely trying to like take up the mantle of doing the continuation of Sly 4 into Sly 5. Like I just happened to run up on this trailer because, you know, it's like I got inspired to like look up stuff for Sly Cooper, and I found a video that had 107 facts about it. And then, you know what I did? I ended up finding this guy who primarily just deals in the Sly Cooper games. You know, he talks about the old school games, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and like he has like so many videos on these subjects, on these topics, from like fan videos to theory videos to like lore and all kinds of things about it. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then I found somebody who realistically is trying to make a Sly Cooper game. You know, it's called Cooper. Like, he's trying to make that game, and it's the continuation after 4 or into 5, where it's like he's trying to find out what happened to his dad. You know, because nobody can find out what happened to him, and I understand that because, you know, at the end of it, it's like you don't know what happens to him. It's like, oh, let's go, Murray. Like, you're supposed to like get all of these, and you're supposed to like haul ass. As much as you can. Like, you can't win the first one. At least I've never officially won the first one on the first try for this one. Like, cause, you know, they always like they do a lot of different things. The AI in this game specifically for this is like, you know, it does different things every time. Like, occasionally they'll break that first one, or they won't. I think the second guy always gets like the nitro for this game. Yeah, he absolutely killed his parents. And the theory about that is that because there's a time machine, and we never knew a lot of the story about Sly Cooper, it's like we don't know if his mom approved the idea of him being a thief, of him teaching Sly about the family lineage, even though there was literal pictures on the wall of them. It's like we don't know that. We don't know what could have happened. Or, like, we don't know how she did. Panicking right there. Like, the controls on this, not the best. You know, you do slide around on this. Another much we do. But like the theory is that because they had a time machine, is that Sly Cooper himself went back in time and basically like either became his own dad or something like that. Because if you see in this game specifically, seeing him in the back, like you saw a picture of what looks like Sly Cooper and Carmelita. Okay, and the reason why people speculate that is because you can see a very definitive outline of Carmelita's body type and of her hair in one of the pictures in the back, in the portrait ones. And see, like here, see, they changed the thing. It was different now. He missed that. If we lose again on this one, we'll have it be where all of them all bunch up and attack each other, and the guy who's in first place ends up in second place. Like the game starts off really different. Like there, see, like I don't know what happened there. And in order to be able to actually beat this, you have to get like almost every single nitro in this game to actually officially win. Like it's not easy. Like the racing ones for these ones, not my favorite part of the section, because you're like, you know, the handling isn't like the best, and like, you know, it's like meant to be like super hard, super difficult. Like, you know, but it constantly changes. Here we're like starting to actually get ahead, but we're not gonna win it this one. You know, we're gonna win it on the next one, if not the one after that, because it does take a couple tries, because you know the AI changes on this one. We're getting closer though, and the first guy always has Mexican music playing in the front, and it's like, oh, that's hilarious. You know, because it's 3 chihuahuas, you know, with sombreros driving it in that car, and it's like, well, that's hilarious. That's pretty funny. And here you just have to spam it out. You can't hold on to the nitro because you do have to close the distance on these guys. But you see that guy will take those nitros from you. No, he won't take every single one, but he does take them in, like a good portion of them. It's like, yeah, it's like it was pretty funny seeing all that. And it's like, here we're gonna lose it again because, you know, the AI is like always different. Like me personally, I've never defeated this one on the first try. It's usually around like the 4th or 5th try I end up winning, because, you know, it's just RNG for most of the part. Here we went from like, you know, last place to 3rd place, but we're gonna lose it here. And then you're gonna see, I think maybe on this part right here, you're gonna see everybody just smack into each other, and everybody gets all super messed up. And then, you know, I don't know, I've never been able to do that. I've never seen a speedrun of this game. Because, you know, I just enjoy that. I don't play like, see, like that guy on that one, he messed up. Now he's in last place. Because, like, you know, it always changes. Because the AI for this game is like, you know, for this one, for these races, it's always different. And it's fun. Because you get to see them do like dumb things, or, you know, have a physical dogfight with each other, and then, you know, just go with that. You know, because there's like, you know, they actually bump into each other. You can do things to each other, and, you know, it's funny to see them all dogpile literally at the beginning right here, like the front, you know, because of RNG. And like the controls could always be better, like 100%. Here, like that guy was able to take that one from us, and now he's like slamming into us, trying to like muscle his way out of, you know, in front of us. But, you know, we could just slip past him. We can nitro boost over here, but we can't pass this guy because this guy is like on our side. And we could like try to muscle around him, but we can't. So why don't we just take the nitro and try to, you know, get around as best we can, spam that out, and just try to be able to like actually like go through this. And as you see, the guy in second place always takes the nitro from us. Oh, he always does that, because, you know, it's just his thing. Good thing is the other ones never take it. It's just usually him who steals it from us. And here we're getting closer. The controls aren't, you know, the best. Here, this is that one. We're getting closer. Look at that. We're catching up to this guy, but we're not going to end up winning because, you know, we're too far behind. Usually by now we should be in first place. Here he's going to see if he's going to take that one. No, he doesn't. We're getting closer though. Look at that. We're super close to getting to second place. But there's not going to be another nitro because that guy in the front obviously took it from us, and the guy's trying to manhandle us and trying to prevent us from actually being able to win on this. That's why I'm doing this levels first, because these levels are like usually the hardest ones personally for me when it comes to the racing, because the controls just aren't the best. And you know, know, there's not really much you can do here. You're seeing him like fight right there. He takes that one right there. Nothing we can really do about that. But look, we're all closer together because they all started to fight. That guy, I don't know what he's doing. And look at that. Boom. We immediately cut and we're in 3rd place. Because again, it's just RNG. We're catching up to these guys really quickly as long as we don't mess up. You know, we'll be good. And as long as we're able to get some nitro, we'll be perfect. So, but he went and stole that one because it was in his path. But we're already doing good. We're already in 3rd place. He took that one, so we're not going to be able to get that nitro. And the max I think you have is like 5, which is, you know, it's fine. But we do have to spam it out because we have to close that distance because they're not technically faster than us, but they feel like they're faster than us. And he's going to get that one, but I don't think he's going to get the next one. And with that one, we should be able to launch ourselves ahead of him. And boom, look at that, we're in 2nd place. And we're going to see if we can take this one, close the gap on this. And look at that, we're right there. This is where we're supposed to be at on this lap, because we're supposed to like get ahead of him, but that's not until after we cross the finish line and actually then proceed to go through that part of the level. And we're gonna go this way, and I think he's gonna end up getting the nitro. He's gonna get the nitro, so don't worry about that. He's not gonna get the next one though. We're gonna be able to get that one, steal it from him, boost up towards him. We're going to end up running into that wall. Doesn't matter because we still have this nitro up here, but we are going to run into that wall, and there's where we messed up. Damn it. We had it. We had it and we lost it. Because we ended up going the wrong way and slamming into that wall, but we were right there. And we're going to try to haul ass to get up there, but there's nothing we can really do because, you know, we slammed into the wall. But we could have 1000% taken it right there. But it's like, that sucks. 100% that sucks. We could have easily gone out right there. We messed up because we didn't angle it correctly and we shot straight into the wall and turned on our side. You know, we did that one thing with, you know, the bots usually do. Let's see if we put this again. Look at that fighting right there already. Missed the first one. Boom, we're gonna get this one. We're gonna boost ourselves. They didn't get this one. We're gonna land on the ground. We're gonna boost ourselves up. We're getting slammed into that guy, so nothing we can really do about that. And are they gonna miss that one? Yeah, they're all gonna miss that one. That's why it's like I like getting this level out of the way specifically. Like if the racing ones come up, 100% I'm gonna get rid of it. Like that's one of the things about this game. If they do remake this game, which I really hope they do, considering how successful everything's been going, I'd love to be able to see that. Damn it, trying to muscle him out of the way, but we can't. Can't get him around that corner. Can now, but we're gonna get this nitro to be able to catch up to everybody else. Let's see if we can be able to actually pass him. Oh, look at that! Come on. Nope, slammed to the wall. There we go. Boost up there. Let's see if we can actually like clutch this out. Nope, hit the wall. Damn it. It's not the best, but what can you do? That's usually the uniqueness about the game, is that it's like it's funny. But there you go. See, like the controls, not the best. You know, that's why it's like I'm glad they didn't bring these games back for, you know, Sly's 2, 3, or 4, because you know, not the best controlled handled games. And like some of the other games they have on there, where it's the time-based ones, like the chickens, the piranhas, and the chickens actually in Miss Ruby's levels, where you have to like kill like 50 chickens in a time limit, but then there's, you know, roosters that come after you. Oh, no, it's gone. I don't know what's going on. 1 second, gotta speak to my.
Get back in there and bang them back. We need that key.
Boop, there you go. Had help with my sister. She had a question about some math homework. Yeah, out of the way. Yes, got it. Let's go. Trying to get all these. Don't hit it. Damn it, you got that one. Oh, we gotta at least get most of these pictures. We gotta try to aim it so that way we don't mess up and slam into the wall or bump into something. And try to cut these corners right there. But there was no nitro right there for us to build take, which, you know, sucks. Oh, I didn't know that sign said misery on it. I wasn't paying attention to that. Alright, so we're on the last lap. We have this lap to be able to actually catch up again the first place. See if we can actually do it right here. He's gonna end up getting it. Oh, he didn't. Cool. Let's hit it. You got that one, though. See if we could use this and not mess up launching ourselves forward. There we go. There we go. So if only we could do that and not slam into the wall. Is he gonna get that? No. Yeah, we're not gonna end up winning at this one. Damn, we were close though. Very close. If only we hadn't messed up right there on that last run we had. You know, we'd have actually gotten and actually be able to win. Although the music is pretty good. Like, I thoroughly enjoy this music because it's the same music you're going to be playing with in order to actually go up against the Mugshot.
We need that key.
Gonna do that again. Let's see if we can get that RNG where they all slam into each other and, you know, the second place guy becomes the first place guy. Nope. Damn. Alright, we're gonna boost ourselves. See if we can, like, get up in here. Look at that guy. I don't know what the guy's doing. Let's boost our way. There it is. Come on. Nope, nope. Don't find me out of the way. Damn it. Get it this one. Nope, we're still behind him. Although everybody's all nice and close together. Except for the guy in first place. First guy is like, you know, considerably in the lead. Let's see if we get around this guy. Yep, there we go. Muscle him out of the way. Let's see if we could not cut across this guy because we're not going to be able to. Oh, so we had nitro right there. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. Look at that. Boom. We're in third place. There's another nitro right there. The guy didn't get it. Let's go. Not hit it right there. We're going to hit it over here, actually, and we're catching up to him. Look at that. We're already getting real close to him. If we get this nitro, we could easily catch up to them. And then this guy's going to end up getting that one. Yep. Boom. Look at that. Second place. Second place, second lap. And that guy usually gets that last one anyway. No, you absolutely do need that key. 1000%. But this is like one of those hard levels where it's like, you know, the controls just aren't great, and you know, it's like, you know, it's like if you mess up, your run's over. You're done. You're basically screwed. But we're like right here. Okay, let's see if we can mess this up again. Come on. We're like inching towards him. So we get it. So we can boost past him. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's not mess up here. Let's not choke it away. We can finally be done with this level. We can finally be over. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Finally. And then the thing slams into us and he's all upset. He's angry. He's like, yeah, I don't want to go first place like 16 times in a row. It's like, no, you really were. No, yeah, absolutely. It's like we need that key, and you're the driver. You know, it's like, well, it's like Murray has always been the driver in all these games. You know, Murray has always been the bronze. He's been the one with the van. I don't even know how they got that van. It's like, yeah, there it goes. It's like, yeah, absolutely no. After 16 years and 2 remakes later, we were finally able to actually defeat this guy. Right, and knock this guy out of the way. It's like, well, yeah, that's why. Again, not my favorite part of this game were those specific levels. You know, it was the Murphy's driving events, or Sly having to, you know, have a timed event and you gotta do this thing in a certain amount of time, which, you know, miserably having, you know, the chickens, and having the piranhas where you gotta run over and then set things on fire, but you only have like 2 minutes to do it, and you know they're be haul ass everywhere they go. and you're trying to like get all that and multitask as much as you want. And it's like, no, the controls don't work. The controls are not the best. And here's the thing: playing the original Sly one right there, the controls are inverted for the camera for both using the Binoculum and using for the any turret-based games. When like realistically, you have it be like up goes up and down goes down. You're so used to that nowadays. Right there. Get rid of those hazards. Wait until they actually open up. Get rid of that hazard. Get rid of that hazard, because you might accidentally shoot it. You're also trying not to hit him, but again, the controls aren't the best, because it's like it's inverted. It's like it's not amazing, not great. You also can't hurt him if you're mess up. That's that. Kill him. There's gonna be another one right there. Another one right there. And then there's gonna be one that comes out from like right there, right? Oh no. And here they try to dupe you into shooting that, but if you do that, you'll end up hurting Mary. But then immediately afterwards, bad guy.
Keep it up.
And then there's gonna be, I think one right there, right? No, it's gonna be up here. He's gonna be on that side. Yeah. And then there's gonna be on that side. One will just charge at you right here, so we can just spam it. And there's gonna be one up there, I think.
I'm
right?
almost done.
Nope. Where is he? Okay, sorry, I ended up killing him prior to that. Boom, there you go. See, way much easier. Way much easier. But, again, they took a lot of the aspects from 1 and improved them significantly in 2. Having the ability to change between multiple people is an amazing improvement on this series. Like, they didn't even do that for, like, realistically for Crash Bandicoot. In Crash Bandicoot, 3 is one that you actually get to play as Coco. And then in Crash 4 with Crunch, it was like you got to play like more levels of her, not just like running around. And granted, she did get to have the boss fight against Dr. N's assistant, because he was not Neo Cortex, he was Nitro or something. I can't remember what his name was specifically off the top of my head. He was one of my favorite bosses, but nowhere near Tiny Teeny. Like Tiny Teeny will always be like that number 1 for me. You get to select some of the levels on. Boom, get rid of that. And then we have the right move on. And here's where the aspect is. If you do this wrong, you can absolutely trigger these guys to like come after you, and like there's like so many different types of them. They'll just charge at you because they hear the whistle. So then like just like that, it's like boom, you already know he's coming. So what do? We gotta get out of dodge. And like I always have that dive ability, and here we were able to actually slam down with it. It's like you gotta like not be patient, but you gotta be smart. So we killed him, we're good. Killed him, we're good. We're gonna go ahead and get around this guy. Basically, this is like where you can farm and like get money, get stuff like that. Because you gotta have those horseshoes, you gotta have those lucky charms. Because there is no health point system like they did in 2, 3, and 4, which was an amazing thing. Because old school PlayStation 2 games, you have it be where it's they're going off of like the Mario based system, where it's like you have lives and you only like take a certain amount of damage and before you die. And then it's like I like the aspect of like, no, you have a health bar, you can regain health, you can like do stuff. You're not limited to like, if I get hit once I die kind of thing. Like you actually get to enjoy the game and have fun with that. And you gotta go all the way around for them to stop looking at you. Then you can kill them both, and then boom. And of course break all the alcohol. Granted, it's like only 1 coin each, but it doesn't matter because boom, look at that, another health, another life right there for us. Hopefully we don't die. That way we don't have to waste any of those. But it's always fun, and you can always break these and get like a lot more coins out of them. Just gonna do that. I can't wait till we get to the magnet ability where like it's like further. We don't have to like be on top of the coins to basically get them. Kill him. And break more of these, break all the poker chips, because, you know, why not? Why not have all the extra bit of stuff? And, you know, here's why you usually go for this level. You want to try to get, like, you know, charms or get, like, lives, because look at all these. They're everywhere, and they're full of money. Like, that's fun. That's awesome. Some more of that money. And then we're gonna get the jackpot on this. We already can see we can get all those bottles over there, get all those clues. And then boom, get this all this extra little bit. Granted, it's not a lot. It seems like a lot, but realistically it's not. But like, it makes you feel it's like, yeah, I got that jackpot. It's cool. You know, I'm gambling in a kid's game, quote unquote, in the PlayStation 2 game. There we go, get all of these. And then we're just gonna run around. And I like how like you're able to do some things. Like there's no real reason to like sneak around, because you know here it's like you realistically can't for this. Like there's no reason to. Oh, there's a lag right there. Again, we are streaming this on PlayStation Now because, you know, we don't have the actual physical hardware of the game. Don't really want to spend, you know, $300 or, you know, $230 on like getting the actual like console and the actual like, you know, physical game, for because people are selling it for like $80 online. And it's like, you know, it's like cool. I love my childhood. My childhood is expensive. Oh my goodness. Like, how many of you guys had these games where you like look back at them and you see them at like super high prices? Like, you know, granted you were able to get yours for like $20 for like your Jack and Daxter, but like when you look at these and it's like, you know, you get the PlayStation game, but it's like $80. I think the only reason why they probably raised up is because, you know, I think next month or the month after is when they're actually officially going to be shutting down the PlayStation 3 store. And that's where I'm like having that real decision. It's like, do I want to spend, you know, the $200 and some dollars? And as a kid, I thought this was funny. It's like the dogs are peeing and there's like statues. I was like, do I want to spend the $230, you know, plus tax and all that stuff and shipping and all that, to be able to get a PlayStation 3 just so I could be able to buy the games on the PlayStation Store? Because you can buy them. The PlayStation 3 store is still up. These still are on sale in the PlayStation Store. At least I believe they are. Because, you know, they have the collection for the PlayStation 3. They said start. Well, that's good, because, you know, that's a lot less stress, and it means that, you know, I could be able to, you know, buy these things later, you know, because I do have to eventually look around and see if I could find this. It's like, yeah, no, absolutely. It's like you have a lot of people who have been around since like your inception of PlayStation 1, and it's like, oh, we're gonna get rid of the system. It's like, well, then why do you have this backwards compatibility thing? Because, you know, a lot of people didn't like care about that. The PlayStation 2 could play PlayStation 1 games, and then, you know, PlayStation 3, if you had bought the fat version of that one, not the slim version, not the one that came out the following year, or, you know, sometime after that, it's like it was backwards compatible. And then they like said, nah, we're gonna change that and not make it backwards compatible. It's like, well, you know, what are you supposed to do? I missed a clue somewhere. Damn it. I have no idea where I missed that clue at. I'm not gonna go back and look for it. We're just gonna go ahead and progress to that level. But it's like, you know, why make that change? Why make it go from like, we're supporting our IP, we're supporting like all our old games, to like changing it to like, well, we're not gonna support everything past a certain point. And then that became a joke. You know, that's why they had when a lot of backlash came for the Xbox when they released the Xbox One. It's like, oh, we're not going to support old games and whatnot. It's like, and then the PlayStation made a joke about that. It's like, here's how you support a game. Here's how you do a game share in it, and they just handed it to the next person. It's like, that's funny. That is the definition of a burn from a business standpoint. It's like, you know, you are saying we're not going to support this. And then they go, well, we're going to, you know, because clearly there's a lot of backlash on that. See, do I even have this thing? No, I think I'll get it right here. Thing is, can't get through. True hardware. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, you know, those are the things that, you know, we love. Because, you know, that's our childhood. A lot of people, that's their childhood right there. It's like, there's nothing wrong with getting like a 20th anniversary of something, or having this come back. It's like, boom, you know, it's like I get to play these games you know, are you kidding me? Damn it. I didn't expect them to be there. It never happened. That's why I usually kill that guy. And here you could like skip the cutscene if you wanted to, because you know if you get close enough, it'll say like, "Oh, this mug right here is a mugshot and whatnot." It's like you can like absolutely like, you know, skip that. And here we're gonna like be like, "Oh, you want to go and like you're gonna have to hide from him because you know he's sneaking around." You get to like be all casual and sneaking, but you could see his tail like 100%. It's like that dog is just blind. That's a seeing eye dog, and that dog needs a seeing eye dog. But like, you know, release them every now and then. You know, like, you know, have them on there, like, or keep them where they could constantly keep getting, like, not updated, but at least being, like, released so that people could, like, you know, enjoy them, because you're gonna have those fans for a long time. And, like, I was super surprised when I saw that Crash Bandicoot, you know, the remake, came on the Xbox. I thought for sure that was going to be just an IP address that only PlayStation was going to have, and I was going to have to buy it on the PlayStation. And then to see it come on there, I was like, wow. You know, I had an Xbox One at the time, you know. So I went and I was like, well, I have to buy it here because I don't own a PS4. I didn't own a PS4 until Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And then I bought the PlayStation exclusive PS4, and I got one of the later copies of it, like the pre-release. You know, it's like I found one in the GameStop. Like I called and I asked them, like, do you guys still have these? And they said, yeah. And I'm like, cool, we'll be right there. Immediately took off, hauled ass over there, went to the GameStop and pre-ordered that console. We got that console, and I was like, I absolutely want this because, you know, Kingdom Hearts was like one of those series that was near and dear to my heart. Granted, it took me forever to beat the first game because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know, on Destiny Island. You know, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know, like, when Riku turns bad, you're supposed to go over there and fight him and do all that stuff, you know, because, you know, I was like, you know, not all there. You know, I was like, oh, I'm just playing a game, and, you know, it seems fun, and I have a loose understanding, like that. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And then once I beat that part, you know, which is like basically the earliest part of that game, then you actually get to enjoy the game and get to explore it. And like, I just tore through that game. My favorite world has to be the Nightmare Fortress as well. Like, that one's my favorite one. You know, I think to this day, just seeing Sora be, you know, like he transforms. Like, I love it. It's amazing to physically see that. Like, you know. Oh, you want me to turn on? Alright, hold on. Let me take a break somewhere. Because I'm not able to actually pause this because this controller is, for some reason the pause doesn't work on that. But yeah, I'll do that for you. Oh, it's set to what, 63 right now? Woo! Dodge that one. Dodge. Okay, we're good. Run. Jump. Run. I always find it's funny right here is like you're basically a thief, but you're also ruining somebody's, you know, clothes that they have drying. It's like, why you gotta do that to them? Why you gotta ruin their clothes? You know, why you gotta be like, oh, I gotta crawl through these things and, you know, basically undo all the clothespins they have up there. Because, you know, being old school, we've all had to hang clothes. Not all of us have always had access to a dryer, you know, or the house has been super hot, and it's like, why turn on the dryer when you could just hang your clothes out in the sun? Granted, they'll like come out like super hard and whatnot. I'm sure you can actually like, just break the glass and get more money, because, you know, we're gonna obviously need that because we're trying to get all those lucky charms. All right, I gotta go and turn on the AC. Give me 1 second. I have it right behind here. Oh, well, let me get this control out of the way. Right now it is. What is it? 88 right now in the house. Ooh, no, it's not. It's like super. You know, this is like the perfect ambient temperature. Who doesn't want to be in a house where it's 88 degrees? It's like the best temperature. It's like super comfortable, warm. It's not. It's absolutely not. It's super hot. But yeah, I mean, it's getting closer and closer to like. Are we in spring yet, or are we like we're getting into summer? Okay, getting into summer. Go ahead and get these. Go ahead and kill this guy. See if I can actually hit him. Boom, there we go. And these should be the last ones I need. Yep, there we go. Boom. It's like the fact that like Bentley is like super smart. The one thing like I have issues with this with the Cooper games when it comes to like these early ones, like Sly 1, is that like he'll always tell you press circle to enter the vault code. When you've already pressed circle and I'm waiting for him to tell you the vault code. It's like that's one of the annoying parts of this game. And it was like not really anything you could do about that, but like if they were able to actually like change that when they do the release of this, 100% have it be like, you know, it just says press circle above it. And it just has him, like how he has like his little marker where like if you push L1 you get to replay the cutscene or the audio or whatnot. Like have that, but have it be like above it where it says press circle, you know, to enter the vault code. Or just have Bentley or the circle or him holding a circle next time. It's like that would be much more convenient than having to sit there, wait for him to tell you press circle into the vault code when you're waiting on him to tell you the vault code. And one of the things that's here is like if you just sit right here, she won't actually shoot you. But the moment you break off of it, it gets destroyed. Like that's like a cool thing. It's like, you know, I need a break. Oh, game's lagging. Curses, PlayStation Now. Why have you forsaken me? Don't fall off. I haven't earned that ability yet where I can negate gravity. I think I've gotten the ability to negate water, but not gravity yet. Like towards the end bit right here is when we actually get to like defeat her, quote unquote. Like Carmelita and Sly Cooper, like one of my original
I'm going to hunt you down, Cooper. You
this
can't
was a
run
great
forever.
couple. You know, it's that classic dynamic of he's a bad guy and he's a thief and she's a cop, and you know they're constantly going at each other. You know, in the comic it shows like, you know, they clearly like each other, and in Sly 4 it accurately represents that. In Sly 2, you know, they clearly have that chemistry together. Am I able to actually see things now? Are things breakable yet? No. And like, you know, you see that between them. You know, like, you know, they clearly like each other. It's just they're on other sides of the line, and you got to see the progression of Carmelita being this super hard, rugged one, or this rugged cop. It's like, you know, I bring everybody to justice. To like towards like Sly 4, it's more like, you know, we fight crime just on different sides of the law, and it's like, yeah, he's, you know, he does that. Granted, he steals. You know, he's a thief. You know, that's what he does. But he's not out there doing all the bad things everybody else does. He's not out there killing people. He's not out there just causing total mayhem and chaos like all the other guys. Like, we defeat bad guys. There is a stark difference between us. As like 1000%, we go out there and kill bad guys, quote unquote. You know, we don't really kill bad guys. Granted, like, it's like it's supposed to be a kids game, different lovers. It's like, you know, absolutely love each other. It's like, this was like, you know, as a kid, you like, you know, you go, oh, that's cool, they like each other, without even knowing what like love is or contextually with what it is as a kid. It's like you could tell these two like each other, especially at the end of the game where you're like, you know, he kisses her, you know, on the cheek, and she makes her blush, and then, you know, like he had tied her up. It's like, oh, that's cheeky. But like that's where you get introduced to the fact that it's like, you know, he realistically does like her. It's just, you know, the constraints of, you know, their occupations is, you know, it's like that kind of forbidden love. It's like, you know, he is a thief, she is a cop. You know, there's not really much they can do unless, you know, she's willing to like be okay with, you know, loving him as a criminal, being okay with him doing all his bad stuff, or him retiring effectively to be, you know, her husband. And he tried doing that. You know, I mean, 3 was like the definitive ending. It's like, you know, they got their happy endings. You know, Sly gets to be with her. He effectively retires. She gets to have the love of her life, which is, you know, him. And, you know, when you read like the comics, there's like a weasel guy, you know, which is funny because, you know, cop, weasel. It's like he clearly has the hots for her 1000%. It's like he likes her a lot, especially when like he's trying to tell her, it's like, oh, you know, a rose by Carmelita would be like super sweet or something like that. It's like, dude, that's a bit much. Like, take it realistically. Like, just don't. Like, she has her heart set on one, like her job is like her job. Like, you know, she's she's like go-getter, like super like I'm into my work kind of thing cop, where like she'll like forego social interactions and whatnot because, you know, like she's like super dedicated to like her work. But like, you know, she likes Sly, like that 1000%. She absolutely likes Sly. That's why the fan theory is, you know, like, you know, his parents, Sly's parents are, he's his own parent. He is his dad. Sly Cooper and Carmelita is his mom. Break that one. I'm gonna skip those keys. Try to get these clues. Break down. Like that's why you see the outline of it. You know, Carmelita for the game at the beginning of this one. You get to see the picture of them. It's like that, you know, it's like, it could be, because now that we have the possibility of time travel in this game, in this universe, it's like, why couldn't he have been his dad? You know, granted that would have been like a huge paradox and whatnot, you know, and creating a whole thing. It's like, I'm your dad, and it's basically going to create a loop of constantly, it's like, you know, my destiny is to be basically my son and my father. It's like, you know, like, there will be no like progression from that. Like they're destined to like be stuck in like the past by a little bit, and they're destined to die by clockwork in like this game's hand from the Phoenix 5. Or if you're going with the game that someone is making right now, it's like, you know, his continuation is, it's called Cooper because, you know, you can't call it Sly Cooper because, you know, again, this is an IP owned by Sony, so that's a no-no, because they're not going to be like, oh, you can't make a game that has our name in it, well, now we're going to sue you, or we need to tell you to cancel everything. But like, that's why it's called Cooper, and it's clearly, you know, the son of Sly Cooper and Carmelita, and, you know, it's Cooper, but orange, just like Carmelita. So you got like basically what's going on is like a red panda scenario kind of thing, which is like amazing, and it's like, it's a cool idea. But like, you know, some people don't like it because it's like, what are you supposed to do about this? You know, it's like, do I like seeing Sly Cooper being orange? Do I like seeing his son being that? Or am I like so stark on and definitive on this the subject of, no, he has to, he has to be great. Like, if the daughter, you know, if he has like two kids and one of them's a son and one of them's a daughter, like the daughter, if she's gonna be the thief and she's gonna be the raccoon, she has to be great. She can't be orange. And like the son, if he's gonna be like, you know, like the cop or whatever, and have that whole dynamic of like, you know, like I don't want to follow my father's footsteps, I want to follow my mom's footsteps kind of thing. He's got to be orange kind of thing. It's like there's no mixture. It's like one or the other for something. Where it's like, I want to accept this because, you know, this or that. And I'm like, but, I mean, just be happy that there's another game. Are you kidding me? Like, you're looking at this like for all the wrong reasons of going like, you know, I don't like how it looks or whatever. Like, this is a fan making. This is a guy who literally is taking his time making this game, and you know, it's like, because no one else will. After how 4 performed so poorly, it's like no one wants to be able to touch this, like, at all, because this is like, you know, it didn't sell that well. You know, we think it sold well as a Sly Cooper game, but it only sold like 400,000 units, which isn't a lot. It really isn't. It sold enough to become part of the greatest hits of PlayStation 2. Like, you know, if you sell enough, you basically reach that list. But like, it didn't do so well that, you know, it was able to generate, you know, constant recurrent sequels like how Ratchet and Clank has. Because Ratchet and Clank is, to this day, still making games. They take breaks every now and then. Like, they took breaks between like the third one and then the Future series, which were amazing games. Then you have like Into the Nexus, and then now you're seeing them do Rift, which, you know, you're always having that lingering storyline of what is it? Of like, where did his family go? What about his parents, his dad, his mom? Like, you have that constantly in the back of you as, like, where are they? What happened to them? We find out that, you know, I think like Ratchet's dad is dead. And it's like, well, then where's his mom? Because he's basically been like, from the essential of the series, he's basically just been alone. It's like, well, then, like, who raised you? Who took care of you? And it's like, we found out, well, Lombax are like this special, like, brand of a you know, species that like were super smart, technologically advanced, but then they disappeared because, you know, this you know, these people tried to like destroy them, but they ended up leaving because they defeated them. But then this guy comes back again, who was effectively raised by them, because you're like, oh, you know, if we raise him, you know, we could teach him how not to be a bad guy, but then he finds out the truth and, you know, then becomes a bad guy because you effectively lied to him. And it's like, that never goes over well. You never say, it's like, oh yeah, you're our enemies, you're of our ancestors, and we, you know, we killed all your people, and, you know, well, sorry, LOL, you know, there was a war, nothing we could do, and, you know, like a casualty war. So basically it's like looking at the Loki scenario right there, where, you know, Odin takes in Loki to help bring, like, a peace between the Frost Giants, and what happened? You know, he ended up becoming a bad guy. Granted, he was always a bad guy because he's Loki, God of mystery. It's like, it's not gonna end. And then it clearly didn't, because then he forced them to basically retreat to a different reality, a different universe. Like, he himself did that, and guess what? Left Ratchet all by himself. Effectively, and he's like, you're a Lombax, and everybody's like so surprised, and it's like, well, what's so special about it? It's like, well, it's because there's no more of you. You're gone. Your species is effectively disappeared. You're like the last person. And like this, I mean, Ratchet is like 100% a hound dog, 1000%. Like, you know, he like always constantly keeps changing girls or girlfriends, quote unquote. Like, you have his girl in like 3 from Up Here in Arsenal was like, you know, so clearly you have a thing together, and then, you know, at the end of it, you know, it gets changed out and from Dreadlock or Deadlock. I can't remember which version of the title it is, but like you have that, and then you see like the only consistent girl he had was the girl in the Future series, and then she appeared in Quest for Booty. It's like that. I think that was the first time where we had a definitive girl for him who basically stayed, you know, and who was there. And the Future series was like a good series, you know, but those are all great games, you know, because they have such variety in them. My favorite weapon, pretty sure a lot of people's favorite weapon is Rhino, because Rhino is always like a great game to have, or a great gun to have, but you know, like the caveat sometimes it's like you gotta collect all these pieces, or you gotta buy it because it's super expensive, but the game was always super overpowered. But like my favorite in the series had to be the Deadlock series, the Gladiator mode. Is there really? I didn't know that. Because there's always the caveat of, like, you know, your species is effectively gone. And, you know, you have that weight of you, it's like, I'm basically alone. But you don't know why you're alone. There's a bad guy, like, hiding right over here. Right there he is. Jump over him, kill him, get that one. Look at that, we're at 24 lives, haven't died once yet, but I mean, that might easily change. And, you know, RNG might prevent us, and you're like, congratulations, we're taking some of your lives. That's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Please don't take all of them. Like, we might be gracious and might spare you a few. Pay the toll. Go ahead and go here. Go ahead and break this one here. I did not know there was a girl in that. I was always led to believe that, you know, you're the last person and that's it. But I've only played Going Commando and the first Ratchet & Clank game once for them. Come on, there we go. Like, up, because I didn't own those. I didn't own 2 and 1 and 2. I own 3 and I own 4 because those are me. Yeah. And I thoroughly enjoyed those games. Those games were like super fun. I had like, a lot of fun with them. But I only owned the 3rd one and the 4th one. To be honest, I think the 4th one, I think the weapon variety in that was like my favorite. And the fact that it was like gladiator mode, because you know, like you come off the basis of like, you know, playing the arena type modes in 3 or in basically those games, and it's like, well, why not turn that into like an entire game? Not really a lot of variety in that. But like, when your guns can go up to like level 99 in that game, it's like pretty ridiculous. Like, my favorite game, weapon in that game was the mace, specifically with the ice mod attached to it. Like, that was fun for me, because then you physically get to see the screen shaking. You can spam the crap out of it and just decimate everybody in front of you, except when, you know, when they're flying. Then you really can't do anything to them. So it's like, you better hope you level up some of your other guns, but like, the mace could just tear through people so quickly because it was just a big ass ball that went forward, and just laid so much damage to everything.
Yeah, this will come in handy. It's Suzanne Cooper's notes pertaining to water safety.
There you go. So now we have the water safety one.
With this
So
knowledge under
officially
your belt,
now,
you won't
we
have
can
to
only
waste
take
a
damage if we
charm
fall in the
whenever
water.
you fall into water.
Which is good because again, we can't swim. we're a raccoon, okay? We're not meant to, you know, quote unquote, go and swim around. Okay, so I can actually see the broken stuff. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and go back into the other one, because this is where I think we're gonna have the 7th key here, and we're gonna fight Mugshot, but we're not gonna do that yet because I want to be able to, you know, I want to get every single save beforehand. I don't want to have to actually like deal with that. All right, let's go and grab the key. It's weird how like it slams you down and it doesn't like give you the key. Like you gotta walk 2 feet to the left and like, here you go, now you have the key. Congratulations. Like, cool. I thought you would give it to me already, but now I actually gotta walk over there. I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way back to the beginning over here. That guy's chasing us, whatever we do, except run away, because why not? Do I have the dive? Still dive. Alright. Let's go and 100% this. Not 100% the whole game, but at least 100% this, because, you know, personally, don't really need a reason to get the time trials. You know, don't really need that, because I already have the trophies for that already, and, you know, though, you know, it's not like the easiest thing in the world. Is it really right there? Did I really miss it right there? Let me, bullshit. Bullshit. There's no way that I missed it right here. Plain as day. It's gotta be down there somewhere else, right? 1000%. Killed him. He's gonna come after me. Barely got to me. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can roll and kill him. Okay, he's dead. He's dead. And then I think that's the end of it. If you messed up, that guy usually would come after you. But he's not going to. We're gonna wait. Actually, we could speed it up. Look at that. Make it go faster. Boom. Have that ability on him. And then why not get more coins? Because hey, look at that. You know, so even though we need to get the last clue bottle here right before we go and face against Mugshot, why not get all this extra coinage? Look at that. Now I got even more lives. Because you know. Oh, I set off the alarm. Didn't even know that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We gotta run. It's going nuts. Good thing. Security guards will come after you. And then boom, get that. We're not gonna kill these guys because we really don't have to. Can I make this go faster? As long as you're holding down the circle button after you do the jump, you can 1000% be able to actually like go for it. So technically, so it should be where? It should be like over there somewhere, right? Maybe. There it is. Okay, so it's over there. So it's gonna be like towards like the up of the bridge that we just so happen to miss. So you. Let's go ahead and get the extra coinage from here. Might as well get the jackpot again. There we go. Yeah, getting all those coins. Not really a lot. Okay, so technically, there it is. Right there. Missed it by, you know, just by not paying attention because we were rolling around on this level. Trying to, like, you know, not effectively speed through it. But, like, try to, like, get through it as quick as you can. So let's go ahead and kill him. Then we're going to break this. And then we're going to go back and actually grab that last clue bottle. Which is, boom, right there. Boom, there we go. Can we make ourselves go faster? Let's see. Let's speed ourselves up. So we just gotta get to the very end right now. Just gotta dash. Look at that. 26 lives. Gained 2 lives already on this level. As like we're trying to aim to see how many lives we could get at the very end. Haven't died yet. Gotten hit a couple times, that's for sure. But we have yet to die. I don't remember exactly what we're going to get in this one. I know it's not gonna be the gravity one. That doesn't come to like way later in the game. And like the ability to like turn invisible, we don't get to see till later. And then the ability to then further increase that level to where we can actually walk. You know, it's like cool. I don't remember if we get that ability in Sly. In the later Sly games, you know, where we actually can become invisible. Maybe, I'm not 100%. Again, my favorite ability from all these games, the leap ability. The physical ability to actually just straight up just hurl yourself leaps and bounds, as you know, and cover like great distance is an amazing ability. Ooh, dodge that one barely though. Like that. And then let's go ahead and let's see, like press circle and vocal. I'm ready. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting. There's nothing I can do.
I'm getting swift with deciphering these codes. Dial 338.
338. This one. And then boom. There we go. Let's see what we're gonna get out of this one. What are we walking away with?
It's Sir Andrew Cooper's thief replica technique.
Okay, so this is where we get to make fake stands. Not a lot of these abilities came through later in the game, because you know, like not all of them are sort of popular. The mine ability, you don't have the decoy ability, the fast one, you know, the rolling one. It's like a lot of these didn't like come through because they weren't necessary, to be honest. Like it was cool to have, but like they weren't like this like thing where it's like you gotta have these abilities. You know, like they have to be in every game. It's like no, like some of them are more better used than others. I mean, the rocket shoes, you know, persisted through 2 games. They went through 2 and 3. There you go. Now we can go against Mugshot. So the first thing we're gonna do is open up the door to him. And then, because we haven't done it yet, we're going to end up triggering in that cutscene where he gets to explain to us. It's like, hey, look, you know, this door is amazing because, you know, it's got a secret elevator behind it. And it's like, well, Murph, we already opened it. Why are you telling us? We just did that. Green draws. So I do that. Boom, look at that. Like, Mugshot's like, you know, hands down one of my favorites. Just because this is this big guy. And like you see these guys, and like these guys clearly like the brawlers and the gangsters of everything. And then what happens is like, no, you have Mugshot. Mugshot will just put you in your place. That's why it's like, I think still, without contention, he might be the strongest person. Physically skilled. But he has had size changes in the games. In 3, both him and Panikin do become slightly, you know, reduced to some degree. They're not these huge hulking people that we've seen before, but like Mugshot by definition still walks around on his hands. You know, it's like, how big do you have to physically be? And like this level is like amazing, one of my favorites, because listen to him talk. He's got that you know, like, I'm not very educated, I'm more of that muscle-headed kind of mentality of him.
You're a monkey wrench in my operations? Some scrawny rat with a stick.
Let me make this loud for you.
Wait a second. I seen that stick before.
Maybe when my father knocked your block off with it.
Your father? Wow. You're a Cooper? You know, that Thingus Racconus had a lot of nice pictures, but way too many big words.
You know,
so you don't mind just handing it over?
That joke about
what,
it,
are you
like,
kidding?
You know, he's
you
like,
break
I'm
into
the
my
mob guy, I'm
place,
the
steal
strong
my
muscle
stuff,
guy, I don't do
trash
work
the
like,
joint.
well, you clearly don't, because it's called the Thievius Racconus. You're calling it Thievius Racconus. It's like, what do you mean by that? But as you can see him, when you first see him, it's like, this guy is huge. Look, I mean, you look at him, and it's like, this guy's arms are bigger than his body. It's like, that's what like people who are on steroids like aspire to be. It's like, when I have the ability to not use my legs anymore and just want to use my arms as my legs, it's like, you know, that's an accomplishment. And it's funny. You also gotta make sure you jump right there at the very end. Even though you do get
gun is
to hit that mirror, those things can still hit you and still technically kill you. And then here I had a lot of difficulty with this fight specifically because my controller kept desyncing on me, or the buttons wouldn't work while you're trying to jump. So you gotta jump a little bit sooner than you think you should, and you gotta plan it out ahead, because if you don't, you know, like how I did, you know, the bullets will track you a little bit. They will absolutely follow you. They'll follow the direction you're going. So if you jump like, you know, too soon or too late, you'll end up being hit either by at the beginning or at the very end, because, you know, our technique following from that one. And it's funny, it's like, you know, this guy is defeated by lights. Like, you know, that's how he's defeated. You know, Raleigh, you know, you had to physically, you know, beat the crap out of multiple times. Here it's like, oh no, mirrors, you know, I don't like light, and then, you know, that's how he gets defeated. It's like, that's pretty funny. You know, it's like, I'm this big, huge dude, and my fear is bright light. And And then, you know, Ms. Ruby is, you know, of course, you know, it's just like, you know, mystic stuff. And boom. Do that. One more, and then he's done. Done. Defeated.
This is impossible. A little pipsqueak like you
know,
beating a
you're
big,
a kid,
strong
you don't really
bruiser
think
like
about
me?
this and be like, oh, you know,
ain't right.
you know, I'm thinking, it's like, how can this big
You
guy
want all of
be
that
defeated by
stupid picture
lights,
book?
you know? It's like, how can
You're
this
gonna have to
mere
go down to
reflection
Haiti and cross paths
disable
with
his
Miss
guns
Ruby.
and then beat this
believe
hulking
you me,
man? I was like, does this guy
you
not
don't
go
wanna
outside
be you.
ever? Is that what happened? Is that why in
Mugshot
later
section
games,
of
like,
the
you know,
Thievius
he's
Racconus
thoroughly
contained an entry
out
from
there
our
in the world
gunslinging
because, like, I was
ancestor,
defeated by a raccoon who
Tennessee
used
Kid
sunlight
Cooper.
on me and I didn't have my sunscreen on me. Which was
His
pretty funny.
specialty was the rail walk.
I do like how they
rail
have
slide.
the
He was
representation
perfected through a
of
lifetime of
this
theft in the
Cooper
Old West.
specifically, Tennessee Kid Cooper, in Sly 1 versus Sly 4.
Getting out of
It's
town
like,
proved to be a
this
little
may
more
have been
challenging
a
than
picture of
getting
him
in.
when he was a lot older
Having just missed
in
us,
his career versus
Inspector
when we
Fox
see
went for
him
the next
in,
best thing and dragged that canine steroid
Sly
case
4,
off to jail.
where he is like much younger and right before
That
he's
was the
about
end
to
of
do his
Mugshot's
major
gambling
bust
empire.
in his career
Mesa
where
City
he
citizens soon
succeeds and
returned
becomes,
home.
you know, one of those
While me and the
super
boys,
legends.
well, we
It's
enjoyed
like,
the rest of
probably
our stay in
because
America.
when we see in Sly
And then
3
returned to
versus Sly
Paris,
4
ready
with
for our
Salim,
next mission.
it's like Salim is depicted as this very big dude.
We'll be right back.